What's up, wrestling fans? I hope everybody's having a good day. I am Joe Cronin. You probably know my channel. If you don't, subscribe down below, leave a comment, all that stuff. What I'm about to tell you, and if you guys have known me over the years, I don't stake a lot of claim in a lot of things. Everything is with a grain of salt. I'm very, skeptical about damn near everything, rumor-wise and things like that. But this is something that that I've heard from multiple different sources who have been correct about other things. And I would say that, most of these people are 75% accurate, if not. Some of them almost never say anything, and when they have, they've been right. So I'm 75. I'm going to just be honest about what I believe. Some people would come on here and they'd tell you, here's what's happening, and that's it, and they'd make this outrageous claim. I will just say that I am 75% sure that what I'm being told is accurate because of the multiple different places it's coming from. They all have about a 75% accuracy. So 75% of me believes what I'm about to tell you is almost near what's happening. Or maybe it's 75% what's happening. But the bottom line is what we're doing here is there's a couple of things. First, I'm going to talk about the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and CM Punk. Then I'm going to get to the whole Billy Gunn situation because Billy Gunn coming for DX. Now, what does that mean? But no, I mean Billy Gunn showing up for the D-Generation X celebration that's coming up this Monday. Now, I've always said to you the last couple of weeks that I believe Billy will be there. I said Billy's going to be there. They'll work it out somehow that he'll get there. But there could be some other things going on that we don't know about. So I'll get into that specifically. But before I do that, let's get to the big boy in the room. It appears that CM Punk has been offered a buyout of his contract. So they're trying to buy out CM Punk's contract in AEW. There's all kinds of legal ramifications. He's not happy. They're not happy. He retained a lawyer right away. And basically the legal stuff is forced. The legal stuff, essentially. When it comes to lawsuits or threatening of lawsuits or lawyer or activity or legal action, Tony Khan is not playing around with that. He seems like a guy that he can take some criticism. He can even take some people yelling at him about some things. It seems like. But one thing he certainly is not going to take at all is the minute somebody tries to make a legal situation out of anything, even if it is one. And that seems to be why this has become a certain situation. There's a buyout for CM Punk's contract. From what I've heard, there's an offer on the table for a buyout. The buyout would mean, allegedly, this is where we don't know 100%, but there's an NDA on the buyout. So there'd be an NDA. He can't say anything about this situation ever again. It's going to be no lawsuit, no speaking about it. And CM Punk would not be able to go work for WWE for the remainder of what would have been his contract. So he would just basically be paying to sit at home. CM Punk would be paid somewhere between $6 to $9 million. He would never speak of this again, or for a period of time. I don't know. He wouldn't be seeking any legal action, and he couldn't go to WWE, and he would just collect up to somewhere $9 million to sit at home at this point. So that's what's up as far as CM Punk goes. I've heard slight, vague tweaks of that version from multiple reliable people. I don't normally have sources. I don't normally talk to people. But I've heard from at least 5 different people who don't know about each other that have come to me. And those all sync up with about what's going on. Now, there is vagueness in that he could go to WWE or whatever the case may be. He has not accepted this yet, from what I understand. So there's still talks, I guess, or we're just not getting that new information. But that's where the last rumor sits. Now, as far as the Young Bucks go, oh, by the way, Ace is done. So Ace is gone. There's no more Ace in AEW. He's just done for as far as Ace goes. And as far as Kenny Omega goes, I'm hearing that Kenny Omega, the only thing that Kenny Omega is still doing is, he has obligations with the video game that are separate, that they don't want to mess around with. I don't understand how the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega could be gone from the company when such a huge game, AEW, the Elite game, is coming out, and it revolves around the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and even Cody, who's gone. It revolved around all of them so much. And you're talking about all of them being gone, yet this video game is coming out. So I don't understand how that's going to work, and that's what makes me skeptical about the next piece of news. I just don't think that this is true almost because, well, how do you get around this video game that's all about these people, you know? But I am hearing that Kenny Omega is going to continue to carry out certain duties with the video game. However, this next part, I mean, this is just crazy if this is true, but this is lumped into the same news as the CM Punk buyout, and it's lumped into the same news as many other several stories that have been true over the past 2 years from the people that I speak to. And I never really, it's rare that I talk about something that I think I know is going to happen like this. Yeah, well, so it's being said that the Young Bucks are gone. The Young Bucks are going to be gone, and Kenny Omega is going to be gone as well. So that's the big thing is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are going to be gone because their contracts are not going to be renewed. Now, Tony Khan could still change his mind about where or when he wants to use the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega, but what it's being said is that they're not going to be used and that their contracts are going to expire. And that's it. They're going to be done with AEW, and their contracts are going to expire. That's Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Now, when you look at the numbers for Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks on television and things like that, they weren't great. And even when Kenny Omega returned, the numbers sometimes went down. And without Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks right now, AEW is still managing a 1 million average viewership over the last 8 weeks. So, I don't know, man. Maybe this is a move by Khan. You know what? I don't need these guys, and they've been a problem. And it's also reported that the Young Bucks has caused multiple problems like this before, but this is just the first publicized one, where something has really gone over the top. And obviously we have had publicity before on this with Cody Rhodes complaining about this. But here's the thing, guys. I said this the first month AEW was launched. Go back and watch my videos to where I said, how can these guys be EVPs when they're wrestling? That doesn't make sense. You can't put a active career wrestler who's in their prime right now of their career as an EVP of a wrestling company. It's going to lead to bad things. I said this. If I worked for AEW, this wouldn't have happened. I would have said, Tony, I know these guys are helping you to create the company. Maybe you can give them a stake in the company or something, but don't make them EVPs. Don't give them titles unless they're planning on retiring to be EVPs. I would have said this to Tony Khan. I said this on my videos at the time, or at least around the time. I don't remember exactly, but sometime between the first 2 months before TV of AEW or the announcement of it, and sometime whenever it was announced that they're EVPs. That's when I said, oh my God, you can't do that. And then, you had even Cody Rhodes saying he wouldn't wrestle for the world title. And I thought part of that was to try to take that off the burden off the shoulders that, hey, I'm in, it's a conflict of interest, therefore I won't do it. And so anyway, you can get into all that stuff. But that being said, I don't know if I believe that part of it. That's harder to believe that, man, the Young Bucks and Kenny are gone. But when you look at the numbers, maybe it's true. But, it's too bad because, man, Cyrus the Virus over there was great with Kenny Omega. I actually really enjoyed them together. So it is what it is, man. Now I've heard several different things when it comes to our next topic, and I'm talking about the D-Generation X reunion. Daddy Ass is coming back to WWE. I said that since day one. I believe Billy Gunn is going to be there. They're going to allow him to be back there, and that they just wouldn't make any reference to AEW or nothing like that. You may get Scissor Me chance, so they'll just kind of have to smile and make a, Triple H would make like a cheeky comment. Triple H would be like, yeah, I don't know what that means. Or hey, when you were in our group, we had a way cooler way of saying things or whatever. Or like, guys, it's not Wednesday, so let's calm down or whatever. That sort of something like that. I expect Triple H would say something like that. Because sometimes, wrestlers, even though it's not really best for your business to start bringing up the other business, it's not. But wrestlers can't help it because it's too cute to mention it and to be like, haha. Like, I'm cool. See, I mentioned it. Like, you guys loved it. All right, cool. Because then the other half of the audience doesn't even know what you're talking about, or maybe they even go looking for the other place. So it's I get it. But here's the thing. this has definitely happened, that Tony Khan has spoken in some capacity to WWE. There's no doubt about it. And what this means is, no matter what, Daddy Ass is going to be with D-Generation X for this reunion on Monday or whatever it is. Of course, Extreme Rules Saturday. By the way, guys, I'm going to be live tonight. You guys know it. Tonight is Monetize This, and I will be live Friday night for Monetize This following SmackDown right here. Well, I may be a little bit after SmackDown. I don't know. But by 10 or 11, we'll be live here on the Joe Cronin Show, live for the review. But or maybe not the review, but Monetize This. It's my Friday night show, which could be moving to Saturday soon, based on some things that are going on in my life. So yeah, Daddy Ass will be there. So the rumor is Tony Khan reached out and he said, Billy can come. Billy can go over there. Tony Khan did pitch that he would have liked the Acclaimed to show up, because the crowd is probably going to chant "Scissor me, Daddy" and "Scissor me" and "Daddy Ass." Now, there's a disagreement. WWE doesn't 100% believe that will happen. They think that it may be there's a chance that it almost does, nothing happens. And they are preparing for Daddy Ass chants, if they have to dump out of Daddy Ass and stuff like that. But they're not 100% that the crowd is going to be that boisterous about it, so they don't know. Now, Tony Khan believes they are going to be boisterous about it, and for that reason, he was hoping that WWE would agree to, if the crowd is like taking over and screaming like "Scissor me," all that sort of thing, "Scissor me, Daddy." If the crowd does that, Tony Khan thought it would be cool if the Acclaimed popped out of the crowd and jumped in the ring and they scissored Billy Gunn, and then they just left, and it was like a special thing for the crowd, or a funny little thing. And while I do think that Triple H does see the value in that being kind of funny, I think it looks like he said no to that. WWE said no to that. Tony Khan tried, So the compromise I'm hearing is that somebody from WWE will make an appearance on AEW television. So I don't know what that means exactly. You got Daddy Ass showing up, and, hey, man, could you just do us a favor? If we're letting a guy show up on your show, could you send a guy over to our show? And I don't know who that is. I don't know if that means AJ Styles is going to show up and wrestle somebody. I don't know if that's like an appearance, like maybe Cody Rhodes could cut a promo. I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly. But that's what I'm hearing the compromise is. But I've also heard that the counter to that is, well, we're not going to do that. But, Billy Gunn can come to WWE and be on our show. We'd like him to be over there. If that doesn't work for you, then that's fine. We'll just do the reunion without him. And so that's the one that I typically almost believe the most, that Billy Gunn is allowed to go to WWE if some kind of little compromise thing happens. And WWE said no to all that. But Billy Gunn can come and be a part of the night. But now Tony Khan may say, well, then no, he can't come. So I don't know. I'm hearing there was some kind of compromise reached, though. So what that is, I don't know, but I just laid out on the table for you everything that was discussed seriously, and now here we are. I have always believed from day one that Billy Gunn will be there. Even if it's just Triple H saying, man, he's a legend, he deserves to be a part of it. Can you just, can you let him, can you just do the right, thing by this? But Tony Khan's probably thinking, but you wouldn't do the right thing, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, I want to do that, but can I do anything? Like Mustafa Ali shows up, I know something. So I feel like some kind of compromise has to have been reached that we don't know about. But I always believed from day one that Billy Gunn would be there. Some way or another, Billy Gunn is going to be with DX. There's no way around it. Now, I originally just thought he'd be there, wouldn't say anything. He's part of DX celebration, yeah, and it's over, and that's it. That's all. Nothing crazy is going to happen. Nothing special is going to happen. But that is what I always believed from the beginning. But now I'm hearing, that Tony Khan maybe is asking for something here or there. So, I don't know. There you go. That's everything out on the table. What do you guys think? And guys, if you value my videos and my content and you guys really like what I said here today, or you, whatever the case is, you like this, I'll see you live tonight. But leave me a super thanks down below if you guys can. This channel is funded by guys like you, people like you. And if there's no super thanks down below, you know that we probably lost money. So down below, super thanks, and leave a comment with it if you can, if you want. I'll try to pin it to the top of this video if you are the top super thanks person. But if not, just leave a comment anyway so I can get back to it, read it, take it in, feel it, and then click the like button and stick the thumb up my ass. And then you guys can scissor me tonight on the show if you'd like to. Or just keep watching my channel right now for more content, or become a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And if you really can, become a producer, man. Shout out to all the producers right there on your screen. The $25 producers, you guys are making Daddy Cronin hard as hell. And I love being hard as hell. Yeah. Thank you to the producers of Patreon. $25 and above. You're beasts. Here's some other videos popping up that you might have missed. Don't miss these ones. And I'll see you tonight.